Hello everyone and welcome to Old Coins TV channel. If you love exploring the world of coins, their history, value, and rare discoveries, you've come to the right place. Here, we'll share exciting information about coins from around the world, from ancient treasures to modern currency. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to never miss our latest videos. The 1995 United States quarter dollar is part of the long-running Washington Quarter Series, a foundational and historically significant coinage program of the United States that began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the nation's first president, and by 1995 this series had already become one of the most familiar and widely used coins in everyday American commerce, making the 1995 quarter not rare in circulation but still very important from a numismatic, historical, economic, and cultural perspective. The obverse of the 1995 quarter features the classic left-facing bust of George Washington designed by sculptor John Flanagan, a design originally selected after a competition and inspired by Jean-Antoine Houdon's famous 1786 bust of Washington, showing Washington with strong classical features, tied hair at the back, and a dignified expression that reflects leadership and stability, while the inscriptions on the obverse include Liberty, positioned prominently above Washington's head, the motto, In God We Trust, to the left of the portrait, and the date, 1995, placed at the bottom, all of which symbolize core American values such as freedom, faith, continuity, and democratic tradition. The reverse of the coin displays the iconic heraldic bald eagle with outstretched wings, clutching a bundle of arrows that represent military strength and readiness, and olive branches symbolizing peace, with the eagle framed by inscriptions including United States of America along the top, E pluribus unum above the eagle, and the denomination quarter dollar along the bottom, a design that had been in use for decades before being replaced by the 50-state quarters program in 1999, making the 1995 quarter one of the last regular-issue quarters to feature the traditional eagle reverse, which adds historical importance for collectors who prefer classic U.S. coin designs. In terms of composition, the 1995 quarter is made of a modern clad structure consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving it a total composition of approximately 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, a standard introduced in 1965 when silver was removed from circulating U.S. coinage due to rising bullion prices, and this composition results in a total weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and a reeded edge, all of which are standard specifications that allow the coin to function reliably in vending machines, banks, and daily transactions. The 1995 quarter was produced at two main U.S. mint facilities, Philadelphia and Denver, with mint marks P and D, respectively, while proof versions were also struck at the San Francisco Mint bearing the S mint mark, and the Philadelphia Mint produced a very large mintage of over 1 billion coins, while the Denver Mint struck several hundred million, reflecting the high demand for quarters in everyday commerce during the mid-1990s American economy, a period marked by economic growth, expanding consumer markets, and increasing use of coins in automated systems. The San Francisco proof quarters, by contrast, were produced in much smaller numbers and were not intended for circulation but rather for collectors, featuring highly polished dies and planchettes that give proof coins their mirror-like fields and frosted design elements, making them visually striking and more valuable than standard circulation strikes. From a collector's perspective, most 1995 quarters found in circulation today are worth their face value of 25 cents due to their extremely high mintage and lack of precious metal content, but coins in uncirculated condition, especially those graded Mississippi 65 or higher by professional grading services, can command modest premiums. While proof coins and error varieties, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or planchet errors, can be significantly more valuable depending on rarity, condition, and demand. Historically, the 1995 quarter represents an important transitional moment in U.S. numismatics, coming just a few years before the launch of the 50-state quarters program, which dramatically increased public interest in coin collecting and changed the appearance of American quarters forever, meaning that the 1995 quarter belongs to the final chapter of the classic Washington Eagle reverse era, a fact that gives it sentimental and historical significance even if its monetary value remains modest. Culturally, the quarter dollar has always played a vital role in American daily life, used for parking meters, public transportation, vending machines, and small purchases, and in 1995 it continued to serve as a symbol of practical currency while also quietly carrying the nation's history, ideals, and artistry in millions of pockets, purses, and cash registers. For educational purposes, the 1995 quarter is often used to teach students about U.S. history, minting processes, metallurgy, and economics, as it clearly demonstrates how modern coins are mass-produced for circulation while still preserving traditional artistic designs and national symbols. Overall, the 1995 United States quarter dollar may not be a rare treasure in terms of market value, but it stands as a meaningful and enduring piece of American numismatic heritage, representing continuity, stability, and the everyday presence of history in modern life. And for collectors, historians, and enthusiasts alike, it remains a valuable reference point for understanding the evolution of U.S. coinage just before one of the most transformative programs in American mint history began. From a deeper analytical and historical standpoint, the 1995 quarter dollar also reflects the broader economic and technological conditions of the United States during the mid-1990s. A period characterized by increasing automation, rapid growth in electronic transactions, and a still strong reliance on physical coinage for daily micropayments, which explains why the U.S. Mint continued to produce quarters in extraordinarily high quantities. Quarters were essential for parking meters, laundromats, arcade machines, toll booths, payphones, and vending machines, all of which depended on standardized coin sizes and weights. And the 1995 quarter, with its consistent dimensions and clad metallic composition, performed this role efficiently, ensuring smooth mechanical acceptance across millions of machines nationwide. Metallurgically, the copper-nickel clad composition of the 1995 quarter was engineered to balance durability, resistance to corrosion, and cost efficiency, allowing the coin to withstand decades of circulation while maintaining clear design details such as Washington's hair curls, facial contours, and the feather definition on the eagle. Although heavy circulation often results in smoothing of high points like Washington's cheek and the eagle's breast, which are key grading indicators used by numismatists to assess wear levels. Economically, the face value of the quarter remained stable relative to inflation, but its purchasing power in 1995 was notably higher than in later decades, meaning that a single quarter could still buy small consumer items or contribute meaningfully toward everyday expenses, reinforcing the coin's practical importance at the time. Within the numismatic market, the 1995 quarter occupies a fascinating educational role because it allows collectors to study mint-to-mint variations between Philadelphia and Denver strikes, such as subtle differences in strike sharpness, luster quality, and die wear, while proof examples from San Francisco provide a clear contrast between mass circulation coinage and collector-focused minting techniques. Error coins from 1995 are particularly intriguing for advanced collectors, as mistakes such as misaligned dies, clipped planchets, or weak strikes can reveal the complexities and imperfections of high-speed minting operations, offering insight into how billions of coins are produced under immense mechanical pressure. Furthermore, the 1995 quarter holds sentimental and generational value, as many people who grew up during the 1990s remember using these coins in everyday activities. making them nostalgic artifacts that connect personal memories with national history. Academically, the coin is often referenced in discussions about the transition from traditional heraldic imagery to more modern, state-specific designs, highlighting how public engagement with coinage was revitalized shortly after 1995 through the introduction of the State Quarters program, which in turn reshaped collecting habits and introduced a new generation to numismatics. Therefore, while the 1995 quarter dollar may appear ordinary at first glance, its role as a workhorse of the U.S. monetary system, its placement at the end of a classic design era, and its continued usefulness as a teaching and collecting example firmly establish it as an important and meaningful coin within American monetary history. Examining the 1995 quarter dollar from an artistic and cultural perspective reveals additional layers of significance beyond its utilitarian role as currency, as the coin embodies centuries of American iconography and the careful work of U.S. mint engravers, with John Flanagan's depiction of George Washington on the obverse representing a deliberate choice to convey dignity, leadership, and a connection to classical ideals of portraiture, inspired by neoclassical European sculpture yet adapted to a distinctly American identity. The meticulous detailing of Washington's hair, the lines of his coat, and the subtle relief work were designed not only for visual appeal but also to endure the wear and tear of circulation, making the 1995 quarter both an artistic object and a practical instrument of commerce. The eagle on the reverse, originally designed by Flanagan in 1932, continues to symbolize the dual themes of strength and peace, with the arrows representing military readiness and the olive branch symbolizing diplomacy, embodying the balance between defense and values that has long been central to American self-image. And the inscriptions surrounding the design, including E Pluribus Unum and United States of America, reinforce the political and philosophical ideals of unity and governance. Culturally, the quarter is also a mirror of American daily life, circulating in millions of hands and pockets, from the small change used by schoolchildren to buy candy, to its presence in banks, transit systems, and charitable donations, making it a coin that is simultaneously mundane in its ubiquity yet historically and socially resonant, serving as a tangible connection to both personal experience and national heritage. For collectors and historians, the 1995 quarter is particularly instructive because it marks the twilight of the traditional eagle reverse before the launch of the 50 State Quarters program in 1999, allowing enthusiasts to examine the evolution of design and minting techniques at the end of an era, with proofs and uncirculated examples showcasing the mint's skill in producing highly polished, high-relief surfaces that contrast sharply with the wear found on circulated coins, providing a rich field for study of patina, toning, and the effects of environmental exposure on copper-nickel-clad coinage. Furthermore, the coin offers insights into mint operations, with production data revealing the enormous scale of modern minting. Hundreds of millions of coins struck at Philadelphia and Denver in 1995 alone, highlighting logistical and industrial considerations, such as die life, planchette preparation, and quality control, which are often overlooked by casual observers yet are central to understanding how the U.S. Mint has maintained consistent coin quality for decades. The 1995 quarter also serves an educational function, helping students and enthusiasts explore metallurgy, design history, economic principles, and even probability and statistics when studying circulation patterns, coin grading, and error occurrences, making it more than just pocket change, but a multidisciplinary object of inquiry. Finally, as a piece of tangible heritage,